So Dave, apart from the win, what pleased you most about tonight?
The win. No, I mean, a lot of good stuff, I thought, Jeff. I thought in multi-phase, both attack and defence, I thought we were pretty good. I thought some of our structured attack was pretty good. Yeah, and I think obviously, Canberra is a hell of a hard place to come and play. I think, as I said to Laurie afterwards, I think they're going to have a much better year than they had last year. Hopefully we do the same. I think both teams are better. But these sort of derby wins are massive ones for us. You play someone in your pool, not only do you get the win, but they don't get a win. So it's almost like a sort of like an 8-point swing. So that's really nice for us, to start the season that way. But it's very early days, so we've got a long way to go.
Quaid, probably more controlled than we've seen him in a long time. Really controlled the tempo and composure for you guys, didn't he?
I thought Quaid was great. I thought Willie G was great as well. Billy Meeks as well on either side of him. So yeah, I mean I think Quaid, he's had a lot of pressure on him coming into this game. To be fair, and he just showed what a world class player he is because he didn't do anything that he made up on the spot. He played to a framework that he's helped create, that he believes in, and I think he enjoyed himself out there.
Do you think he's a more mature player now?
That's a hard thing for me to say because I obviously didn't really coach him before, but the thing for me is just I see a guy who's hell of a committed to what we're doing. He believes in what we're trying to do, and he's both on field and off field showing great leadership for us. So he's been a huge asset for us.
How hard do you think it is to not play at this level for 18 months and slip in so seamlessly?
Again, I think that probably just shows what a world-class player he is. He's described him before. I think he's probably a once-in-a-generation player. He can do some things that you just like, geez, why did that happen? But I thought more on that. I thought today he had a sense of the tempo of the game. He knew when to speed it up, when to slow it down. That's something that you get with experience. And I think having a 10 who has a relationship with the 9 in that way is going to be pretty valuable for us.
Obviously, a few missed opportunities for you guys tonight. It is exciting to see that when that does click, you guys are going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're pretty excited at the moment. There's always a little bit of uncertainty going into the first game because you don't see much in the trials. So we felt like we had a good pre-season, but you're never really sure where you're at. And then as I say, I thought there was some good stuff tonight, but there's a lot of things we have to work on. I mean, I thought we struggled with our restart exits. I think they scored from 3 or 4 of our restart exits, like real silly stuff there. Probably the inconsistency of our scrum. I thought sometimes we really scrummed well, and then that's just a concentration thing. The great thing about our scrum actually is that we played without a genuine 5 lock today, who's genuinely your heavier sort of lock, and we played without Adam Coleman or Sam Jeffries or Trevor Hosea as a genuine 5. We played Matty Phillips at 5, So to be able to cover those injuries like that and Matty to play effectively out of position in a way showed I thought showed a lot of character from the top 5.
Dane, how did you see it?
Pretty similar, obviously. Really happy with the result, but we're not getting ahead of ourselves. There's plenty there for us to work on, but really excited that we left some opportunities out there and we did what we wanted to do.
Did you I think the Brumbies had maybe 70% possession early on. But did you always feel if you could just get out of your half, you'd be able to work your way back into the contest and get over them?
Yeah, definitely. I think that was probably one of the takeaways from the game. We really weathered the storm early on, showed some great composure, and then with 1 or 2 opportunities in the first half, we were able to score. So from there, we took a lot of confidence from that and into the second half.
I think Poey got that tackle on you. Did it feel like a heavy impact at the time or just pretty innocuous?
Yeah, can't move my elbow still, so I got him pretty good, I think, and he got me pretty good. So that's probably my highlight, taking Poey out. I'm glad he's all right, but it's nice not having to play against him.
I was going to say, it was a big moment in the game, wasn't it? 5 minutes in, I think you guys you were on the attack there at the moment. To see a guy like him go off, did that just give everyone a little bit of a lift? Or?
Well, it's never nice seeing someone injured, obviously, but obviously he's so big for them. He leads them around, and so it obviously gives us a little bit. But yeah, we're really happy with everything that went on today.
Dane, first game as captain, so can you describe, what that brings for you, how differently you approach the game?
I try to approach the game the same. It was probably a bit of a learning curve today. different interviews before the game and the coin toss and a few different pieces. So definitely some things for me to work on. But yeah, I enjoyed leading the boys out there.
And can you, I know we've asked a lot about Quade, but can you just talk us through how he was out there and what he sort of offered the backline?
I think the great thing that I saw was that composure. We know how good he is, how much flair he can bring, but him and Willie just led us around, and it was, even when we were down, we felt calm. We felt like they were in control of the game, and they were both really composed. They controlled the momentum of the game really well.
You would have played with Quade in the past,
yeah? Yeah, from under 20s all the way through, so we played a bit together.
Well, I know I asked Dave, who this is the first year coaching, but has he changed, has he matured, not in terms of person, but just as a player?
I think he's matured as both. From when I met him quite a while ago, he's definitely matured off the field, and he's definitely starting to show some real mature signs on the field as well.
I think, to be fair, Block, we probably all have, you know. Like, if I look back at some of the silly stuff I've done in coaching over the last couple of years, I cringe at it, you know.
Yeah.
So we're all just learning, and to be honest, that's exactly what I feel about the Brumbies too. You know, I can just see that they're a better outfit. I'm sure Dan has learned a lot from his year in charge, and Australian rugby hasn't been in a great place. But I think the reality is we are where we are, you know, and we just got to accept that, and we just got to work hard. We can never be outworked. We can be outskilled. We might not know something because we're young at it or whatever, but we can never be outworked. And so as long as we keep doing that, then I feel like we can keep getting better.
Dave, this control you're talking about from the inside backs, do you feel you got the same sort of thing with Naisarani, say compared to last year with you know, the type of game that Murphy played?
Yeah, I think the great thing, there's two really nice things about Issy. One is he's just a great human being, and I don't say that lightly. I just think he's incredibly humble, incredibly coachable and hardworking, you know. And, is a great model to some of the other players in our group. You know, that's the sort of guy we want people to be. And the second thing is that he's going into his third season of Super Rugby. You know, he feels like a guy who's probably been around for ages, but he's got so much more that he can do in his game, and he's got a lot of growth still. So he could really be anything as long as he keeps the work ethic and things that he has at the moment. He could be really something pretty special. You know, so we're very privileged to have a player like that in our mix.
Dave, you're coming off such a good win and now you're going to a break. How do you tackle that?
Yeah, it's a funny one because we actually almost see this next 2 weeks as a extension of our sort of pre-season, I guess, in some ways. There's some stuff that we know, you know, to be honest, I just don't think we've probably done enough more defence and things like that because we've had some guys coming back into our squad early. So there's things like that we're going to really hit hard over the next 2 weeks, and you know, again, this is, you know, it's round one, but it's a very long competition, and teams will learn from what we did tonight. So we've got to change it and get better next week.
Guys like Adam and Reece, good for your next team?
Yeah, both those guys will be available. Campbell Magnay as well, he'll come back. Ross Haylett-Petty starts to train back into full training with us. I mean, I guess the nice thing is that we want to create a scenario where those guys have got to compete every day and work as hard as the guys who have the job at the moment. You know, so if we can do that, then we keep pushing each other. Then hopefully we can keep improving.
Dave, I think there was 8,500 here tonight. Are you confident the crowds can come back in 2019?
Yeah, I thought it was a great game. Like, I thought anybody who came to the game, it was a pretty exciting game, you know. As I said after, I aged about 3,000 years in the last 5 minutes, you know. So my recommendation would be just don't coach. It's not a good profession, you know. Yeah, Super Rugby's special, you know. So for me, I mean, I've said it a couple of times, which is that when I grew up in South Africa, we didn't play international sport. We were banned from international sport, you know. And so the first international sport I saw really on TV was Super Rugby, you know, guys like Zinzan Brook and Sean Fitzpatrick and all those sort of guys playing for the Auckland Blues. And it wasn't just an international rugby competition, it was a whole new world that opened up for me, you know. So I've got a really soft spot for Super Rugby, and I think we haven't done a good job of it, to be honest. Me, you know, the players, the administrators, all sorts of people. We've got to admit that, and we've got to work harder, and we've got to fix it, you know, because it's actually a great product. But we just got to be honest with where it's at, and we've got to work hard to fix it.